The Adam Ritz Show, a reality show for your radio.
It's going to be kind of hard to do an introduction with the resume that our next guest has, so we'll just say hello, June Jones. Hi, June.
All right, Adam. Good to see you, man.
Head coach of the Southern Methodist University Mustangs, and just real quick, it'd take 10 hours just to go through your resume, but you college football player, NFL player with the Falcons, and beyond, even some Canadian football in your history, coached not only in the NFL for the Falcons, but also the USFL, which I find fascinating. Brought Hawaii out of the depths of oblivion to a BCS game, and now at SMU since 2008, and you've literally brought this program back from the dead, really, and a bowl victory in Hawaii to boot. So congratulations on a long, exhausting career, and you are Mr. Football here in Dallas, Texas.
Well, I appreciate it. That introductory, I'm realizing I'm getting old. I've been a lot of places, and it's been a lot of fun. And this last bowl game was very rewarding for our school.
It's got to be very special for you, too, having been a coach in Hawaii. I know you sign all your emails with mahalo, and you are part Hawaiian, I guess. And so when did you find out you were going to go back to Hawaii for that bowl game?
Well, I kind of knew at the start of last year because of the way the bowl process goes with ESPN really deciding, who plays where, that they would like us to be back in Hawaii if the university was not going to be bowl eligible. And it looked very early like the University of Hawaii was not going to make it. So they had an opportunity to sell more tickets and get a lot of local interest if I returned. So I kind of knew that we would go whether we won the conference championship or not.
How did the Dallas Mustang fan base follow you out there? I'm sure they didn't have any complaints going to Hawaii.
No. We've had two good runs. In 2009, we went there, and then again this past year. And so we've had success there, and it's been a great trip. It's one of the great bowl treats for a non-BCS school to be able to go to.
And then when you were out there for that week, was it fun, almost distracting to have, I'm sure the Hawaii media was all over you. Coach June, they got to still love you from what you did with that program, bringing it out of the depths of oblivion.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of interest, obviously, still. And we had a good run there when I was the coach. And we like you say, the local people, they don't forget. And I have a lot of friends there, and of course the kids and the staff, prepared themselves. And me having been there, kind of what to stay away from, what to do, what not to do, and so our kids stayed pretty focused on winning the football game.
June Jones is our guest, the head coach of SMU for the bowl game. How much time or effort goes into not game preparation, but just, I guess, the mental preparation on making good decisions while those kids are out there on the beach? I'm sure there's a great nightlife. There's bars and nightclubs. There's a lot of distractions and a lot of potential high-risk behavior that could get those kids in trouble, which could affect not only their lives forever, but the game that week.
Well, we spend a significant amount of time as coaches. In fact, Adam, you came and spoke to our team, 3 or 4 years ago now, and ever since I've been a head football coach, you kind of realize that the developing the character and developing the type of kid that we have in our locker room is as important as anything we do, not just as a football player, but as down the line as they leave here. And we talk about those things all the time. We're addressing them all the time. I have numerous people come share with them. In fact, I had a lot of the Honolulu police force come talk with our team before we even, as soon as we landed and got in a room and took our bags, the first thing we talked about was where to go, what not to do. And it's a beautiful place, but you better make good decisions, or like you say, you'll be on a plane going back home and ruining your life forever.
Yeah, there was not to name names, but there were a couple players on a Texas Division I college football team during their bowl weekend were accused of sexual assault. And it just ruined the weekend for everybody. It's going to ruin those kids' futures forever. So that's great that you're taking those measures and talking to your kids about that. When you're recruiting a young man at a high school, have you ever had to pass on a kid that you loved as an athlete, you wanted him on your team, but then some character issues came out? Does that happen?
Oh, yeah, it definitely happens. It happens every year, unfortunately, for that athlete. with the way the media is now, the social media is, the internet, everything, it's unfortunate that sometimes kids get thrown under the bus without it actually being true. And that does affect, your decisions as a head coach and as a school as to whether you want that type of kid in your locker room. Now, I have had some success taking some kids and giving them a lot of second chances. When I was in Hawaii, I actually was fortunate enough to have 2 kids that actually played in the National Football League that I took out of jail, basically. Now, they had issues that were not related to sexual assaults or anything like that, but they had issues, gang issues, and got themselves into some trouble. But at the same time, you as a coach have to judge the character of each kid individually, which I do, and it does come up through the recruiting process.
So for those high school athletes out there listening to this conversation, sure, you're strong and fast and can jump high and can score the touchdowns, but the coaches are also looking at your character and what you do off the field and your community service even. And I'd like to talk now about your foundation, the June Jones Foundation. Tell us about that. When did it start? What organizations do you work with?
Well, we've done a lot of things over the last 10 years. I do a medical mission in Pongo Pongo, American Samoa, where we take every year we go down and give academic scholarships and also take about $1 million to $1.5 million. We're hoping to take $2 million worth of medical supplies down there this year. Wow. Football shoes, football gear. I mean, we've done everything to help the people down there and the kids down there. And then since I've come to Dallas, from being from Hawaii, that I found that kind of was what triggered me to do via my foundation. Then coming here to Dallas, I now we're in the second year having an inner city ministry that we do for 26 feeder schools in the inner city Dallas. We're having an event here April 27th that basically is a mentoring program, helping kids with their schoolwork, and also looking to the future for their jobs. It's kind of a job fair. And so we're really excited about partnering with the DISD, or the Dallas Independent School District, to get this done and to be, something that SMU is associated with, and partnering with all the arms that are already in the inner city, the Boys and Girls Club, the YMCA, all the different groups that are going. We're trying to unite all of them to help the young kids in the inner city.
That's fantastic. The June Jones Foundation. I'm sure if we Google it, we can find a link to your digital properties. June Jones Foundation. I want to switch gears back to, character and talking about making good decisions. And there was a story I saw recently, this morning, as a matter of fact, of a head coach who got a DUI last night. You work with your young men. There's you got 80 20-year-old kids in a very high-risk scenario called a college campus. Do you bring up these topics with your coaches, your assistant head coaches? They're under the microscope too. They're in a high risk environment too, and it could really hurt the program too and their life if they get a DUI or make a bad decision.
Oh, no question. We talk about them all the time, and those things are very unfortunate that was happening. I did not see that yet, but I'm sure I'll be hearing about it. But those things we do address. All the things, everything that a football program does reflects not just the guys in the locker room, but it reflects on everybody in the school, the alumni, the president of the school, the faculty, everything. And so, you're always conscious of what's going on, and you're always talking about those type of things. If you don't talk about them, and if it's not the focal point of what you do, then you're probably going to have some issues. And even if it is, and even if you do it, you still have some issues. But at least you're doing everything you can to get those situations addressed.
You got to be proactive. June Jones is our guest, and I want to wrap this up on a fun note. On the plane ride out here to Dallas to talk to you, the guy next to me on the plane said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm going to Dallas. I'm going to interview June Jones." And he goes, "Oh, I met June Jones when I was about 12 years old." He signed an autograph for me when I lived in Atlanta. So we went to an Atlanta he was 12 years old, and he remembered this. Over the years, your long coaching and playing history, do you run into people 40, 50 years old now that are like, I met you way back, and of course you don't remember who they are, but how's that make you feel to meet those people, hear those stories from your past?
Well, you do hear them all the time, and having a name like June, people don't forget that name quite as if it was John Jones, they might not remember it, but it does. It happens all the time. It makes you realize that you have an opportunity to impact people in the smallest of ways. That young man or old guy now, like you say, I don't remember, but at the same time, whatever I did that day obviously had an effect on him, and so those are good memories, and they go with the game, they go with football.
June Jones, just a pleasure to talk with you. Thanks for appearing on the show, and we wish you the best of luck here at SMU.
Good to see you, Adam. Thanks.
The Adam Ritz Show is recorded live, both in studio and across the country. For information on this broadcast, including how to hear this show on a station in your city, visit adamritzshow.com.